Hey guys, it's me, Wace and Johnny Ty from the C.U.M.A Survival School here in Chicago. Today I want to review a badass knife I just got from Tops Knives. As you know, Tops Knives is based out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. They make some really hardcore knives for some really hardcore individuals. This knife is no different. This is the Skullcrusher SXB. That stands for Skullcrusher Xtreme Blade, and it was designed by an Army vet named EJ SNYDER. Some of you guys might know him more from Naked and Afraid and Naked and Afraid XL, the 40-day adventure that he just finished overseas. Badass dude, big, tough, strong, went out there with a dozen people and actually just kind of kept to his own with his one partner for 40 days and kicked ass. So way to go, EJ. I really liked what you did. Good job, brother. Today I want to talk about your knife. This knife is just like the majority of Tops knives. It's made out of 1095 high carbon steel with a black linen micarta scale. So what you can see here is it comes in a traditional looking Tops knife sheath. Let's see if we can focus on this a little bit. Top sheath, okay. It's black and it has the molly webbing in the back. You can snap it down so you can connect it to gear. It does have a Tops whistle and leg strap there. What's nice about the sheath, it's made out of their ballistic nylon that they use a lot. It comes with dual retention straps that aren't just Velcro, but they also have a snap. So for a big blade like this, this is nice. This is a nice touch. EJ said on the phone call I had with him that he wanted this dual retention system of having button snaps and Velcro. That's really nice. It does have a nice size pouch that you can fit a flashlight or a mini survival kit or a sharpener or fire starter or something like that in this pouch. It's a pretty long pouch because it's a pretty long knife. The knife itself, okay, so that's the sheath there. The knife itself is a little more than 15 inches from tip to tip. It is a 1095 steel, like I just said. And it has, let's see if we can focus on this a little bit. It has black linen micarta with red liners, sawtooth blade on top. It's made out of a 1/4 inch stock, so it's a thick piece of steel. The one that I got, I specifically requested to have the Tops knife camo put on it, so it would basically come in a black powder coating, the traction coating, but I like the camo, and I saw a picture of this with the camo online, and I thought, nah, let me go ahead and get it with the camo because that's cool. So that's extra. You can see that, I don't know if you can see or not, but it's got the Skullcrusher logo there. It says SXB by EJ SNYDER. Some of the nice features on this knife before we put it to use is it's got the long blade here, but it's got this bottom edge here that you can use for draw strokes, for pull strokes, things like that. He's got these two eyelets here, these little slanted eyelets that you can use for attaching paracord to the slanted hole for extra retention. EJ said that you could also lash it to a spear. He said that he's done that, and you can chop bananas off of trees with it and stuff like that. It comes standard with the Rocky Mountain tread. So the Rocky Mountain tread is something that people either love or they hate. I don't know if it's available without Rocky Mountain tread. You can always ask Tops if that is available. Generally they have to do it at the beginning of a run. let's see, I don't know why this isn't focusing here. They'll generally do it at the beginning of a run when they start making knives. So it comes with the Rocky Mountain tread and what he calls the Skullcrusher pommel. So EJ's got about 20 years in the Army. He's a combat vet. His nickname was Skullcrusher, so you can imagine what the thought behind that Skullcrusher prize there. You could also use it to smash windows. Talking to him, you know, I said, EJ, tell me a little bit about what your thoughts were behind this knife. A lot of people were comparing it to the tracker, and he said he never even saw a tracker when he first came up with this concept. It's based off of a custom knife, influenced by a custom knife by a friend of his, and that knife, the name escapes me, but he's featured it on the first season. You know, if you go to his website, you'll see him holding that knife. That was more of an influence on this knife than the tracker. But there is, you know, basically this little section here, that's what makes people compare it to the tracker. Outside of that, the handle's different, the finger guards are different, the blade's bigger. You know, that's the only similarity really to the tracker on this knife. I asked him why such a large knife. You know, is it because you're a big dude? You know, he did the 40 days, lost 70 something pounds and came out a big dude, so he's a big guy. He said that, you know, obviously, you know, the big knife for a big guy makes sense, but he designed this big handle so you could have multiple grip options on it, far back or choking up. That was his thought process, not so much just being a big guy. He said, Johnny, do you think I can maybe come up with some kind of fighting techniques or tactics with this knife? He wanted to be able to use this as a tool, not just for survival, but for fighting as well. Being a combat vet, I think that makes sense to him. So I said, sure. So, I mean, I'm looking at this knife, I'm holding it, I'm seeing it not so much as a stabbing blade, but more of a slicing and chopping. You know, you can block with it, of course, you can block and come in, right? There's many different ways that you can, you know, do your uppercut slices, your downward thrust. It's kind of like a short sword or a machete. So if you were to come in with this knife in many different angles, that would be a really, you know, you could feel the weight that would remove limbs from a body with this. And we're going to go ahead and get inside this wooded area in a second and see if we can do that on some tree limbs and see how well it chops. So we're going to put it to the test. But so far, my first impression of the Skullcrusher Xtreme Blade is, dude, this is badass. So I really like it a lot. Let's take it into these woods and have some fun. Okay, so I found this down tree. This is what we're going to start with. It's got about 2.5 inch thick branch right here, and this is probably good 6 inches across. Let's see what kind of chopping capability it has to take care of this branch. That was really fast work. So that was maybe about a 2 inch branch there. Let's check this out. That's pretty good. Let's get a little closer here. That's pretty fast work. Let's just chop this down here and see what happens.
Smoke the joke. Word up. Straight coming from Bubba's next. You know what I'm saying? Roasting the whole joint, bro.
You can see we're getting there pretty good.
Smoke the joke.
It is doing a good job. We're almost done. Okay, so you can see the length of this hand. This is almost the size of my hand. That's a pretty big piece of wood. Okay, so obviously there's a couple different edges on this blade. I would think, you know, well, I know that with the coating on top of the blade, with the tops coating, you're not going to get a spark. So I tend to like to use the back, very back of a tops blade to throw a spark, but I want to see how it throws from this little curved area right here. Fairly easy. Okay, back here. Fairly easy. Okay, it's a good blade. Just got to make sure that you use the spot that you don't think you're going to really do too much chopping with. Okay, it was a good spark just like that. I like it. Unfortunately, it seems that I've killed my tripod, so this is the last thing I'm going to be doing here. Okay, so here's what appears to be a dead tree, so we'll use this one. So in the combatives, you have a downward strike, right, just like this. If I were to block and swing this way to allow it to cross my body, this is a really good knife for it. It's got a good front heft to it, right? It cuts through really nice. This can be used as a block or a parry. So if someone's coming in and you're blocking, just like that. The reverse, obviously, so this would be an angle 1. You always want to let it pass your body. This is an angle 2. Angle 1, angle 2. Okay, so you have these downward cuts, and what I'm finding is that it's catching with this sweet spot right here. It's kind of nice, right? I'm not putting too much effort behind the strike, but it's cutting pretty deep. You have your uppercut motion this way, which is a little nice. So I'm kind of hooking this way, and you have cross again. If you were to strike this, you always want to check your distance with this blade. Again, I'm finding that this area right here is what I want to connect with. This area here, this hooking area, not so much. This is the sweet spot, and I'm finding when I'm connecting with a cut. Yeah. And I'm trying to just let the weight of the blade do all the work for me. Okay, so you see it's pretty much cutting into this tree really well. Okay. Striking, moving. Striking, moving. So constantly letting the body move your legs out of the way, so when this knife cuts through, there's nothing that can cut you. This is pretty dead already. So I think that the Skullcrusher is also a good limb remover. So overall, I would say that the Skullcrusher is a big, bad blade. I like it a lot. In fact, I like the majority of Tops knives a lot. There are a couple that just by design really aren't my flavor, but the materials and the Tops knife won't fail you, okay? 1095 high carbon steel, black traction coating, linen micarta. You can't go wrong. I mean, they've got like 400 designs using this material, so it's tried and proven. You can't beat it. This retails for roughly $300. You can find it for less. Right now, you can get it from Tops at an introductory price by going to www.topsknives.com. Excuse me, that's www.topsknives.com. And again, my name is Wasting Johnny Ty from the C.U.M.A Survival School here in Chicago, rocking the classic C.U.M.A combative shirt. Might have some more of these made sooner or later. Final thoughts, I like the knife. Well played, EJ. Well done, Tops Knives. If I were naked, you'd probably be afraid, especially if I had this knife. So this is Wasting Johnny Ty signing off from the C.U.M.A Survival School. As always, stay safe, stay sharp, stay alive, and oh yeah, don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out the Facebook page, check out our website, and have a great day. See you guys later.